Hey everyone, and welcome. Now, if you're a creator, I know you're probably obsessed with your views and subs, but what if those are just vanity metrics? Today, we're going to crack the real code to YouTube monetization. We're diving deep into what actually drives revenue for creators right now in 2026. So let's start with a puzzle. Picture this, you have two videos and they both get 1 million views. One is a detailed finance tutorial, the other is a brand new music video. So why on earth can the finance video earn 10 times more? I'll tell you, it is not magic and it is definitely not luck. It all comes down to strategy and one really powerful metric that we're about to unpack. All right, let's get right into it. First up, what is YouTube CPM? See, if you really want to take control of your channel's income, you have to speak the language of revenue. And probably the most important word in that whole language is CPM. So what is CPM? It actually stands for cost per mil, and mil is just Latin for 1,000. Put simply, it's the price an advertiser is willing to pay to get their ad seen 1,000 times on your content. The key thing you got to remember here is that this is the total pot of money. It's the gross figure, before YouTube even takes its cut. But CPM is only half the story. The number that you should really care about, that's RPM, which stands for revenue per mil. Think about it like this. CPM is the money advertisers pay to YouTube for a spot on your video. Then YouTube takes its 45% cut, and what's left over for you, that's your RPM. So while CPM shows how valuable your audience is to advertisers, RPM is the number that actually shows up in your bank account. Okay, so what actually controls your earnings? If RPM is the goal, what really moves that number up or down? Well, it's not some big mystery. Your earnings are pretty much driven by 6 key factors, and just understanding them is the first step to actually controlling them. And here they are, the 6 key drivers of your CPM. You've got your content niche, your audience's geography, video length, and so on. Now, they all play a part for sure, but I really want you to focus on those top 2, your niche and where your audience is located. Why? Because those are the 2 most powerful levers you can pull to dramatically, and I mean dramatically, increase your earnings. So let's zoom in on that number 1 driver. That brings us to our third section, top paying content niches. This is probably the question I get asked more than any other. Where is the money on YouTube in 2026? Well, let's find out. Just to give you an idea of the scale we're talking about, look at this number, $50 plus. That's the potential CPM for a top-tier finance video. That right there is the absolute gold standard for YouTube monetization, and it just shows you what's even possible on the platform. And this table really shows you the incredible range. Up at the top, you've got niches like personal finance and tech, where CPMs can soar all the way up to $50. Now, look down at the bottom tier, music, which is a hugely popular category, right? It struggles to get over $1. Just let that sink in for a second. You could get the exact same number of views, do the same amount of work, but earn just a tiny fraction of the revenue, all because of the niche you chose. Let's just visualize that gap for a moment. A finance channel with an average CPM of around $30 is earning nearly 4 times more per ad view than a gaming channel that's averaging 8. Now look, this isn't about which content is better. It's purely about which audience advertisers are willing to pay a premium to get in front of. All right, next step, timing your content for profit. So you've picked a great niche, you're all done, right? Well, not quite. The next layer of strategy is all about timing, because when you publish your videos can be just as important as what you publish. This is all about seasonality. See, advertiser spending runs like clockwork. It follows this really predictable yearly cycle. Quarter 1, right after the holidays, is always the lowest because ad budgets have just reset. Then things pick up in Q2, they might dip a little bit in the summer, and then, boom, quarter 4 hits. Holiday ad spending goes through the roof, and your CPMs can spike by 20, 30, sometimes even 50% higher. This quote really says it all. The strategic play here is simple. Save your biggest, most important videos for that Q4 gold rush. Dropping your best work in the January slump, it's literally like throwing money away. So we've covered the what and the why. Now let's talk about the how. We can basically boil everything we've just learned down into a really clear 3-part action plan to help you optimize your channel's revenue. Here they are, your 3 pillars for revenue. First, you have to focus on RPM as your true north. That's the cash you actually pocket. Second, try to make your videos longer than 8 minutes. This unlocks mid-roll ads, which gives you more opportunities to earn on a single video. And third,
target what we call Tier 1 audiences. These are viewers from high-spending countries like the US, the UK, and Australia. Advertisers pay a huge premium to reach them, so even getting a small percentage of your audience from these places can dramatically boost your income.
So, what's the single most important thing to take away from all this? It's that you have to ignore the platform-wide averages. You'll see articles talking about a $3.50 average CPM for YouTube. That number is a total distraction. Your success isn't about hitting some generic average. It's about building a specific, smart strategy for your niche and for your audience.
And that really brings us to our final thought. As you move forward, just ask yourself this one simple question. Are you building a channel that just chases views, or are you building one that creates real, tangible value for a specific audience? Because in 2026, that's where the real money is made.